Now, I did some research on what Sammy G said about Andrade El Idolo. And man, I'm shocked he said that stuff. And no, this ain't no damn work. This is real. In fact, I think he's leaving. I think Andrade El Idolo is actually leaving AEW very, very soon. And he's gonna have a farewell match. It's like, see, as I always say, I'm always right. Once Triple H was in charge, there was going to be half that roster that came from the WWF that was that they were going to want to go back. Same as freaking Malachi Black, Buddy Murphy. Everybody wants to go back because he's back in charge, Triple H. But when it comes to what Sammy G said about Andrade El Idolo, I'm like, wow, man. I can't believe he would say something like that. And I kind of think, okay, if he's really is borderline being a coward, if Sammy G really meant what he said about Andrade El Idolo, because at the end of the day, you wasn't really saying all this when you guys were sharing a locker room, right? It's like now that Andrade El Idolo has announced that he's leaving, oh, now Sammy G wants to talk with his big ass chest out. Now he wants to call Andrade El Idolo a jobber. This dude said that the only reason he got a job was because of Ric Flair. And I'm like, wow, man. So you're basically saying that Andrade El Idolo sucks. But how come you wasn't saying this with your chest out when there was no indications that he was leaving? Now he's leaving. Now you know you are no longer going to share a locker room with this guy. Now you don't care what you say now. To me, I feel like that's very, very cowardly. Because I saw what Andrade El Idolo said about this whole thing. He said that he actually walked up to Sammy G's face and he said, hey, do you have an issue with me? And Sammy G said no. Now, days later, this dude is talking shit about Andrade El Idolo on Twitter, saying, "Oh, he's a jobber. He's lucky he even has a job." And I'm like, wow, man, like, dude, no disrespect to Sammy G, but there's tons of casuals that know who Andrade El Idolo is based on his run with the WWF. It's like, bruh, he's the husband of Charlotte Flair, so obviously, dog, we know who he is. We don't know who you are, though. So how can you say he got lucky to have a job? That's kind of, come on, man, that's a huge cap. That's major cap. Now look, I ain't saying I'm the biggest fan of Andrade El Idolo. I feel like he does have some flaws, but I think he's better than Sammy G. I feel like he has more upside than a Sammy G. But to say the only reason he has a job is because of Ric Flair, that's like, what? Come on, man. That's insane, dude. He has a better resume than you do. He's a former world champion in NXT. He's a former U.S. champion on a main roster, so he does have a name. Hell, I heard he won some belts in New Japan. So he does have a name that he earned without Ric Flair. That's harsh. I don't know, man. Ever since this dude has got with Tay Conti, I don't get it. Sammy G has really been a cocky, arrogant prick in real life. It's like, I don't get it. He was kind of a down-to-earth guy before he got with this chick. Now he's walking around with a hot chick and shit, so now he's cocky and arrogant. And I'm like, bruh, you are not that over. It's like, bruh, Tony Khan had to pair you up back with Chris Jericho in a different faction to keep you relevant, to keep the fans from booing you as a person and not as a character. They was booing you as a person and not as a character. That's why he paired you back up with Chris Jericho, to save your career, so you won't be like Cody Rhodes. But this ain't no work. What Sammy G said, that was all factual. He really meant it. But the whole point is, was he saying something that was kind of out of pocket? Well, look, I don't think he's a jobber. Obviously, I don't think he's a jobber. But his career in AEW has been very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. It's like he was a smart Mark's wet dream, right? But people didn't really give enough credit to Triple H for making this guy into a goddamn star. It's like, when will you people start to wake up, right? Okay, ever since all his guys got cut, right? All the black and gold guys got cut and they all went to AEW. Everybody assumed they were going to be stars. But not knowing, but trying to ignore the fact that Triple H made these guys into stars. He handpicked these guys and transformed them into stars. Dude, Tony Khan didn't do it. It was all Triple H. So people assumed that Tony Khan was going to share the same vision that Triple H did with Keith Lee, Swerve, Pac, guys like that, Cole. And no, dog, Adam Coleslaw has been trash. The Undisputed Era was a failure in AEW. It's like, when will you give credit to Triple H? Right? How come Tony Khan couldn't book them like Triple H did? See, people assumed that Andrade El Idolo was going to come to AEW and be a star, right? People thought, oh, people were like, oh wow, he's a game changer. He will be a world champion. Oh man, they really dropped the ball on Raw and SmackDown. But it's like, bruh, what has Ruby Soho done? Nothing. Dog, it took Pac damn near 3 years to win his first championship. It's like, how come nobody talks about that? It's like, when will you put some respect on my name, right? I was the first guy to make tons of videos saying these black and gold guys have been failures in AEW. Remember when people were saying Keith Lee is a game changer? I said, no, he is not. People are saying Swerve is gonna be this big time star, and I was like, nah, he ain't. And people are saying, oh, Andrade El Idolo will be a superstar, and I was like, no, he will not be. I had no faith in no guys from NXT who went to AEW. Once again, I will say it all the time. Triple H hid those guys' flaws. Because in hindsight, those guys were kind of jobbers. But Triple H made those guys stars, right? Just like Paul Heyman. All his guys from ECW, come on, man. They were jobbers, guys for the indies. But Paul Heyman made those guys stars. He turned around all those guys' careers. Tommy Dreamer, RVD, New Jack, all those guys were not stars before ECW. None of them were. But Paul Heyman took their flaws and he hid their flaws and he showed their strength. That's what Triple H does. That's what he did with Andrade El Idolo. Right? Remember? Remember, he had some gimmick in NXT. It was a weird gimmick. I think this dude had suspenders. This dude looked like a freaking Chippendale stripper. Remember? That used to be his gimmick. But he failed. That gimmick failed. And then he was close to actually quitting that company. See, a lot of y'all forget that. Andrade El Idolo was very close to quitting when he was in NXT. But Triple H saw some potential in him. So he put him in a suit and he paired him up with Vega. And the rest was history. Triple H made this guy into a star, man. What part of that don't you understand? What makes you think that Tony Khan was gonna turn Andrade El Idolo to a star like Triple H did? Triple H is the only reason we know who he is. Literally, he was gonna quit until Triple H paired him up with Vega. So cut that shit out. He was never gonna be a star without Triple H. That's why every guy from the black and gold brand that's now in AEW has been exposed without Triple H. That's why they all want to go back. Because Tony Khan has horrible vision. He has an awful eye for talent. He does not know how to make stars. Come on, man. Do you remember the old days of the black and gold brand? Triple H was pushing all these guys that we all seen as jobbers, right? Vince McMahon seen all these guys as jobbers, but not Triple H. So what makes you think these guys were going to be stars in a different company? They got their big breaks because of Triple H only. So of course, these guys were going to fail outside of freaking NXT without Triple H. And that's what happened. That's why everybody wants to leave to go back to him now, right? Especially Idol. Now, I will say this. Tony Khan did somewhat try to get him over. Now, I'm not going to say he didn't try. He did try to get him over. It's just, when it comes to Andrade El Idolo, it's like, look, man, you people place too many high expectations on him. The fact that he's the husband of Charlotte Flair, and I don't know why people try to compare him to Alberto Del Rio and Eddie G. He's nowhere near Alberto Del Rio. Say which one about him? He is nowhere near Alberto Del Rio. No. Because that guy had tons of charisma. And he could talk. And look, when it came to Del Rio, he had a special presence about him. He had a star presence about him that the crowd respected. It's like, when I first saw him, I felt like, damn, this guy is a goddamn star. I was like, damn, this guy is a Mexican JBL. I never saw that with Andrade El Idolo. But when it came to Tony Khan, he tried to make him a star. It's just, I just feel like he don't have it. I just feel like he is really, really overhyped. He is an overhyped guy that's a mid-card guy, but people think for some weird reason he should be a main event world champion. But I'm like, nah, bruh. So who can you blame now for his failures in AEW? Right? Who? See, people tried to trash Vince McMahon for saying, oh, he didn't believe in him because he couldn't speak English. Okay. What about Tony Khan? Tony Khan has tried to put this guy over, so who can you blame now? He failed on our main roster. He failed in AEW. Last time I checked, Vince is not running AEW unless he is a silent owner. Unless Vince is a silent owner, whose fault is it that he failed in AEW? Whose fault is it? Because last time I checked, Tony Khan did try, right? What's the main factor you have to do to get this guy over? Okay, you have to pair him up with a manager. That's what Tony Khan did. He paired him up with multiple managers. This dude paired him up with Vicky and some other guy. I think three people. He was paired up with multiple managers. So when it came to Tony Khan, he tried to follow the formula that Triple H did in regards to Andrade El Idolo, right? Okay, you pair him with a manager and you put him in a suit. That's what Tony Khan did. Tony Khan put him in a suit and he paired him up with a manager who could speak English. That's what Tony Khan did. For some reason, Andrade El Idolo still couldn't get over. So whose fault is it? Right? People want to trash Vince because Vince don't like people who don't speak English. Dog, I feel like that's a good reason not to push somebody. Bruh, this is America. I don't care. This is America. When it comes to the WWF, that company will forever be mainstream. If you want to be a top guy, you gotta speak English. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you, okay? Speak English. Speak proper English. Okay? Don't get mad at Vince. Speak proper English if you want to get pushed. It's like, how is that racist? That's not racist. It's his company. He can do anything he wants to do. If you can't speak English, you should not get pushed like you Stone Cold. What if Stone Cold couldn't speak English? Do you think he would get pushed? No. It's like, look, either you get paired up with a goddamn manager, bro, or you gotta speak fucking English. That's not racist. This is America. This is a company that's owned in America, which means, bro, you gotta speak fucking English. That's not being racist. It's like, cut that SJW bullshit out. I hate that. Dog, look at Asuka. Now, her English ain't great, but it's good enough to get over. That's all. Because Asuka has tons of charisma to the point where she don't need to talk long promos, right? She don't need to speak long promos. She don't need to know every word of the English language. But she has tons of charisma. Bruh, all she needs is 5 words and that crowd loves her. That's all she needs, 5 words. That's why she's over. But when it comes to Andrade El Idolo, bruh, you gotta learn more proper English, bruh. Because look at Eddie G. He spoke proper English. Ray spoke proper English. Figuring on Chavo spoke proper. Hold on, I forgot. Didn't Chavo manage Andrade El Idolo? So come on, dog. No. Stop it. When it comes to TK, he did try to get this guy over. He gave him multiple managers. Holy shit. Vicky, Chavo, it's like, damn, man. It's like he gave him all these managers who were related to Eddie G. Hell, I'm actually surprised they didn't call Dominic. It's like he was trying to make him the next Eddie G. He was trying, just the audience does not buy into him. You know why? His English is not great. I'm sorry, that ain't racist. That's facts. When you live in America, you gotta have some proper English context if you want to get over. See, Asuka, she gets away with it because she has tons of charisma, tons of stage presence. When it comes to Andrade Idol, he has nothing. So, what difference will it make if he goes back to Triple H? Will he be a main eventer? No. Because, look, man, you can't force a guy in the main event scene just because you like him. If he's not over, you gotta put him in a damn mid-card, man. You can't force a forced push like that, bro. No, he would not be a main eventer. If he can't main event goddamn Dynamite, what makes you think he will main event Raw or SmackDown as a star? If this guy quit, this guy quit the WWF because he didn't like how he was pushed. So he goes to AEW thinking he will be a star. He failed. Now he wants to. This dude wants to go back. So no, he just don't have it. He's a mid-card guy, solid workhorse mid-card guy. He would never be a main eventer. Never. Not even with Triple H. No, it's not gonna happen. He's a mid-card guy. Look, he's a good guy who has nice work rate. Okay, nice solid work rate. He's a great hand. Look, in fact, I don't think he's better than Roosh. Let that sink in. He's not better than Roosh. Dog, at least Roosh can speak proper English. At least Roosh tries. At least Roosh has tons of charisma, tons of presence. So let's not place all the blame on TK because Roosh is way better. It's just, look, he don't have it. Once again, I'm gonna say it again. This guy will not be a top guy when he goes back to his old company. It's not gonna happen. Nah, bruh. When it comes to us fans, we like wrestlers who can speak English. That's facts. You gotta speak English if you want to get over in the WWF. It's like, bruh, you ain't gotta talk. Look, you don't gotta talk like the Miz, but at least talk like Asuka. Okay, talk like Asuka. Show some charisma. Show some stage presence. We will overlook your broken English. That's all you gotta do. Show some charisma, man. Work on your damn mic skills, and we will overlook your broken English. Look, Tony Khan tried to get Andre over. He tried to make him the next Alberto Del Rio. He tried to make him a bootleg Alberto Del Rio. Right? Because he put him in a suit and he gave him his own faction. And his gimmick was he was a rich guy that was a businessman. That's why he bought the Matt Hardy family office. Remember? So his gimmick was kind of a bootleg version of Alberto Del Rio and JBL. But he was still a guy in the mid-card. It got to a point where I felt like he had a better run on the main roster than he did in AEW. You see, now he regrets going to AEW. Now he realizes he had a good thing going on Raw and SmackDown. He had a nice thing going on. You see now if he goes back, we all know Triple H is gonna pair him up with Vega. But that still is not gonna get him over, bro. I'm sorry, it still is not gonna get him over. If he failed in AEW, he's gonna fail in his old company once again. But what do I think about what Sammy G said about him? Do I think he is a jobber? That's a great question. Because all signs point to yeah, right? Because isn't a jobber's job is to make guys look good, have a good match, make your opponent look good, but lose at the same time? Dog, that's been Andre the past 2 years, right? He always has good matches, but he always loses, right? It's like he had a match with Darby Allin. I think he lost that match, right? But it was a good match. Didn't he have a match with Cody Rhodes? Guess what? I think he lost that match, but it was a good match, but he still lost. See what I'm saying? So in hindsight, was he a jobber? Kinda. He was a jobber to the stars. That's how Tony Khan used him. See, that's why he regrets leaving his old company. Because nothing changed. Nothing changed. But let's get back on Sammy G. He is becoming a AEW lifer. Like, dog, you are burning bridges. He would never step foot inside of a WWF ring. If you are beefing with your coworkers, what makes you think Triple H will have any interest in you years from now? It's never gonna happen. The fact that you are beefing with Andrade El Idolo, a guy that's most likely will go back to the WWF, bruh, you would never get signed there. Because if you are beefing with a guy that's going to go back there, then most likely Triple H will not sign you there. So the more and more you talk like a cocky, arrogant prick, you are becoming a AEW lifer. It's like your ceiling is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Where it's like there's only one company that's going to keep you around. That's AEW. That's sad. So I feel like he's kind of burying himself. It's like this dude had beef with Eddie Kingston. Now he has beef with Andre. Now this is how their beef started. I heard they had a match, and then Sammy G cried backstage, claiming that Andre was too stiff with him. And I'm like, who the hell cries over that? Who cries and complains that their opponent hit them too hard? It's like, who taught you the business, right? Because last time I checked, Wrestling 101 is if somebody tags you stiff, you gotta give them a receipt. Okay, if you are badass, how about you give Andre a receipt? If he hit you hard, okay, hit him back. Duh. That's like Wrestling 101. It's crazy because even he said it. Even Andre said it. He was like, bruh, if I hit you hard, this is wrestling. That means you gotta hit me back. Like, what? Even he said it, like, bro, why are you crying? If I hit you hard, that means you gotta hit me back. I'm giving you a hall pass to hit me back hard. That means I want a physical match. If I'm wrestling you in a physical style, that means I want a physical match. Vice versa. Look at Sheamus. Sheamus likes stiff matches. That means, okay, he wants his opponent to be stiff with him too. So why are you crying? Why are you complaining? So that's how this whole beef started. Sammy G didn't like how Andre was being stiff in their match. And I'm like, wow, man, that's soft. That is some pussy shit. It's like, wow, man. The more and more Sammy G talks, all these incidents, damn, man, I feel like he is becoming a lost cause. It's like, bruh, dog, you are not, right? You ain't no draw. At least when Shawn Michaels was an asshole backstage, at least he was drawing numbers and selling merch. At least he was a top guy, world champion, as he was being an asshole. Dog, you are not Shawn Michaels. You are a mid-card guy being carried by Chris Jericho. It's like, you gotta watch your mouth. You gotta watch your tone, man. You have to know your place in this business. You are not a top guy. So you gotta watch your mouth. You are burning bridges. It's like, I hate when mid-card guys act like that. It's like, bro, you gotta know your place, bro. You ain't no star, bro. You gotta walk on eggshells, man. You ain't no star. But do I agree that Andre was a jobber? Yeah, he was. He was a jobber to the stars, but you ain't gotta say it out loud. Damn, you don't have to bury him on Twitter like that. That was uncalled for. It's like, bro, he is your coworker. You gotta show some respect. You, like, dog, handle that shit backstage. If you gotta say it to his face. But don't be a bitch on his way out of the company, because that makes you look like a coward. It's like, you was saying this shit when he was there every day in the goddamn locker room. That's some pussy ass shit. But I'm done.